And welcome back to Fan of Hate.
Fan of Hate?
Fan of Hate. Gotta turn that thing on. Alright, so I have no recollection of what we did last time.
We fought a bunch of shit. And tried to get coins from this guy.
Yeah. What?
Like this coin.
Like this one.
Oh yeah, that's because of the stuff we claimed, I think.
Oh, I received
New colors.
new colors.
And... oh no, it's for him as a companion.
Oh, I see.
It's his stuff, I think.
Alright, so it's time for chapter 3? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. The High Priestess.
Or any of the other ones if you prefer that.
Recommend. Phil.
By the way, pay attention to the stuff. Text on top, the collect blessings in order to enter the ritual house, and that stuff, because that's basically what you're supposed to be doing in this mission.
Okay, so collect blessings in order to enter the ritual house at the summit of Mount Frades and negotiate a treaty with the Northerners there.
Yep. I feel like we should get a bonus for being in Iceland. We're already in the north.
Alright, let's get started. Shuffle
You
those
find
cards.
yourself once again in the company of prayer and religion. How unfortunate.
You guys are
Okay.
douche, by the way. You may have noticed.
Now it begins. Negotiations on behalf of the Empire. We will see how that story ends.
Malaclips has somehow roped you into traveling deep into the far north on a diplomatic mission. While I usually refrain from working for the Empire, since this one takes me further away from it, I've made an exception. It'll square my debt with General Brandstrom and help open many doors for you. What do you say?
Tell him to fuck off and pay his own debts. What is this? Are we his money man or something?
That looks like it. General Brandstrom instructed me not to come back until I talk to the High Priestess of the North and offer the terms of the treaty, he explains. Okay, leader of the Raiders. There are many clans dotted around, but the supposed leader of them all is the High Priestess who lives up there. Malaclips points to the top of the soaring mountain before you. Ask how you can help. As you know, I have a great many skills, but my swordsmanship is unlikely to hold up against Northern Raiders. I know no one else who is more up to the task. Alright, let's begin the quest. Excellent! Bring your sword and let me do the talking, says Malaclips. I've brought plenty of supplies so we can set up camp when we get hungry.
Nice. Not bad. I like food.
Malaclips shares a tidbit as you commence your journey. The High Priestess is quite partial to blessings. If you can prove yourself worthy, we'd have a better chance at swaying her in our favor. Collect at least 6 blessings before the meeting. Okay. You grit your teeth and begin the ascent.
Yeah, because you have to climb a mountain and get blessed while doing so.
Alright.
Be careful where one takes refuge, even in the worst of storms.
Okay. With little warning, a snowstorm sweeps in from the north. The snow whips against you like shards of glass and obscures your vision. You struggle to find cover.
Like shards of glass. I've never felt snow that felt like shards of glass.
Which one?
I think the one on the far right, but I'm not sure.
It was a success. Hooray!
Nice.
The climb becomes unbearable. You seek shelter in a cave and desperately fight off the onset of frostbite. When the howling winds ease, you clear the snow from the cave entrance to discover the dark clouds have passed. Malaclips forages for firewood, saying, "This log is dry enough. We can set up camp here for the night." Yeah. Okay, let's go to the camp.
Campfires will always offer warmth and heat, but they also change with each challenge. Be prepared.
A figure appears out of the swirl of frost and snow. It is a northerner. "I come in peace," he says. "I make the pilgrimage to the High Priestess. I mean you no harm."
I think he meant to say hi up Hrothgar though.
Hrothgar. Without waiting for approval, he slumps down beside you and warms his hands by the fire. "In my youth, I once fancied the northerner warrior. She almost cut off my head when I serenaded her." Malaclips plucks a mournful note on his lute. "Young love, eh?" Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Eat food. Malekith sits himself next to you, offering a sip of warm honey wine. The last time I was on Mount Frades was when I got very drunk and lost a bet. I cannot afford that.
No, but it's the Cardinal Blade. That one's pretty good, actually.
Yes, it is. Alright, break camp. You sleep through the long cold night. In the morning you pack your things and continue to climb up the mountain.
Not every temple has crumbled into the dust, more's the pity.
You don't like religious things, do you?
He doesn't like anything.
Okay.
Or he likes things that kill you and dislikes things that don't kill you.
The Temple of Divine Providence provides blessings in exchange for a simple gold donation. Alright then.
Yeah. You get to choose which one.
What do I want?
You can inspect them with A. That one's pretty good. Should probably check them all out though.
15 life for every gold gain card you receive. If your max life is less than 150.
I think here Beggar's Charm might be the most useful one because we'll probably be spending money on blessings or other things. But the food one might be good too.
That one?
Yeah. I think the Beggar's Charm is Babyly. It's Babyly. I'll rest that now.
Quite. You leave with your new blessing and gave 6 gold away.
No, you lost it.
Ever since I've returned to this world, I've
Lost it
been
into that guy's
disappointed.
hand.
The filth, the shame,
Where did it go?
the horrors dwell in the minds of men, not in the monsters in the darkness.
Westwend's only tavern, the Rusty Razor, is a safe harbor among the many dangers of the outer reaches of the Empire. Its barkeep sits outside his establishment with a look of resigned defeat. Upon your arrival, he jolts straight up and a smile almost breaks out across his face. At last, someone from the guild is here. These Empire soldiers have almost ruined me. Before you can disagree, the owner swings open the saloon doors and pushes you inside. Inside, you discover a handful of Empire soldiers enjoying ale rather than doing their duty.
Nice.
The freshly invigorated barkeep hops onto a table and shouts above the noise, "You lazy, drunken deserters are done. The Stewards Guild has sent an enforcer here, and now you're all going to have to get back to your post. This town needs defending." One of the soldiers rises with a slight sway. "We got 3 days until our shift ends, and we return..." What? "We've got 3 days until our shift ends and we return to civilization, so we're not doing any fighting unless they threaten the supply of ale. Right, lads?" A raucous cheer erupts and beer tankards smash together all around. "So why don't you take your shiny Sun King badge and shove off?" What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to threaten them.
Yeah, boy.
You suggest with menace that the soldiers should report to duty or they'll report to the healer.
Come on, huge success. Oh, I thought it was that one too, though.
I won't be threatened by the likes of you, the soldier grumbles as he rises, followed by his friends. Well, then I will simply beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, boy. How dare they not defend the town?
I mean, that's what they're getting paid for.
Yep.
Shitheads.
Goddamn Empire.
Taken from the dregs of society, elevated to petty positions of power. Watchmen can block, greatly reducing incoming damage. Use bash to open them up for damage. Use bash again.
I think it's the... Yeah. The whole thing's down. I wanna run up to him and press whatever button it says.
I'm gonna get the Winter's Bane because we just got that.
Yeah. Ooh, knockdown northerner. That's racist.
This sword is racist. I like it. Quit that shit.
And 25 gold. And 4 fame.
As soldiers fall under yet another blow from your weapon, the leader shouts out, "Stop! Alright, we'll do our part. Just stop cracking our skulls."
No,
Nicely done.
you stop having skulls. How dare you?
In the cold, men become desperate.
This
Women
again?
hold these mountains together, even
You're in
through
the
the
north, there's
worst.
blizzards.
With little warning, a snowstorm sweeps in from the north. The snow whips against you like shards of glass and obscures your vision. You struggle to find cover. Oh shit. This one.
Nice.
The climb becomes unbearable. You seek shelter in a cave. Blah blah blah. Same thing.
This log is dry, man. So dry.
I don't give a fuck.
So dry.
While crossing a stone bridge, you suddenly find yourself confronted by a villainous band.
3 northerners, look out. Leap into the river. No,
I mean, why would I run from ICP?
I don't know.
St. Cloud
take
Passing
offense.
is no match for a sword.
I know, right? But I take offense to them being northerners. I'm not claiming those guys, no way.
No, they can. Americans can take credit for that shit.
Yep,
Aren't they from America?
I think so. I'm like 99% sure they're from Detroit.
Well, that wasn't particularly hard.
No,
although
because
the
you
combat,
have the anti-northern.
dude, and the combat style is kind of weird because once you parry, you backpedal, but you can strike when you do it. Having spilled your enemy's blood, you searched the bodies for anything useful. They had 4 fame in their pockets.
Nice.
Oh, and equipment. Warrior's axe. No.
Axe.
Yes, but Northerner's blade.
True.
The mountain itself pushes you back.
Does it though?
A sudden blizzard slows your progress through Mount Frades. The bitter winds pierce your skin like shards of glass. What is it with these fucking glass blizzards?
I
Witches I will
I feel like
tolerate.
the person who wrote this
They
has
have at
never
least
touched
stepped into the streams of power that magicians call home.
As you ascend the snowing Mountain Frades, you happen upon a cottage with pungent smoke wafting out of the chimney. A frail old lady sweeping snow off the path beckons you to come in. We've come in search of the great High Priestess to deliver an important message.
Is Malclips mocking the old woman? What a douche.
Have you, been...
I know he's a douche, but
Yeah.
it's like still extra douchey of him. How dare he?
You'd better go bearing blessings if you want to get to the High Priestess's good side. I'm fixing a batch right now if you'd like a taste. A batch of blessings?
Yes.
If I've got it right this time, you can take it to her, she says, stirring the cauldron. Malaclips politely declines. I've been watching what I eat, but my companion here has an insatiable appetite, he says, nudging you forward.
Oh, this is interesting. One of these is a failure, and the other is
I like this one.
It's a failure.
You take a sip of the putrid potion and feel your stomach churn. I know I shouldn't have substituted the cloudberries for bogberries, she says, comforting you. Choose the righteous path and you'll find blessings on your way, I'm sure. You step outside into the blistering cold and continue up Mount Frades. What the fucking... So she fed me rotten food and then told me to fuck off? Nice! Oh, yay. Shards of glass.
The climb becomes a bear. You chill out in a thing. You've made a campfire if you wish.
I am
A gnomish
torn
exchange.
between my loathing for gnomes and my despair that the world is becoming less strange and arcane as the Empire spreads.
Halt, wild humans!
A voice calls out as a dozen small creatures leap from the trees around you. It takes a moment to realize that they are gnomes. Dirty, poorly armed gnomes. A few hold spears, but most have only a rock or a sharpened stick.
We seek arms to defend ourselves.
A gnome declares loudly.
Hand over some of your equipment and we'll release you. We can even pay you something. I'll give you food for a helmet.
One of the small folk exclaims.
Oh, give me some armor and I'll give you a health potion.
Chimes in another. The gnomes all loudly shout their own offers, trying to drown out each other. Sure, you can take my fucking axe, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah. You surrender the equipment to the gnomes, satisfied they offer payment in return.
Apparently gnomes are satisfied by axes. Wow. Really satisfied.
The gnomes retreat through the forest with their prize and soon begin fighting over it. Okay then.
Gnomes are weird.
A grand opportunity for you to take whatever pleases you and go about your day.
Do take the Slayer song, Divine Intervention.
What
Good
is
song.
After your rerolls in the dice camp, yes.
That's excellent. Reroll your lowest dice, yes please.
Your memory seemed filled with
pies, and
conflict
exotic
and chaos,
lies.
yet
We've done this
occasionally
before.
something merely pleasant
Yes, and the
slips
exotic
through.
lies were delicious.
I'm gonna buy exotic lies. He's no magic, can't trust him. He passes you a fruit that is, by all accounts, a lemon. Except that it's the size of a large melon. Coming into our land, stealing our hearts. Chester stares in a kind of wistful gloom at the exotic fruits for a while before he finally decides on a price.
That's 10 food for... Whoa, yeah, take that offer.
Hey Chester.
Yes, 10 food for 10 gold. That's about the best deal we're gonna get on food for a long while.
Buy pies. He passes you a cinnamon butterscotch pie.
Nice.
As always, the pies have been selling steadily today. Chester considers his coin chest for a while before he finally decides on a price. Okay. No! Fuck you.
He is affronted that you didn't pay him for his butt.
A lesson in caution
what was it?
awaits us all.
30.
Nature, truly
Yeah, but
wild
he was offering
nature,
you a
will
cinnamon
not tolerate
butterscotch
fury
pie. How
in
does
its
that not sound
domain,
awesome?
unless
It does
is
sound
its
awesome,
own.
don't get me wrong.
I would pay actual 30 golden coins for that if I could. But I don't have golden coins, so I can't.
Alright. It's a bit much. High up on the mountain, you see the silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche. We do the fandango.
I will.
Approaching through the heavy snow. He bellows through the roaring wind. Who dares trespass in the sacred grounds of our priestess? Hidden raiders spring down the mountain with the dexterity of mountain goats.
Nice. That's dexterous as fuck.
Yes,
I think at least.
it is. It should be agility, not dexterity.
Ah.
Because dexterity is the finger movements and fine motor skills.
Maybe they were doing fine motor finger movement while climbing.
That's at least how I understand it.
Yeah.
On the frozen plains, prey are few and far between. The keen eyes of a trapper see all. Trappers throw hunting traps that snare their targets, use evade to avoid the traps, or change the direction rapidly to break free.
Who dares venture?
How dare you, phone?
Yes, phone, please stop.
Don't do this.
I'm very sorry about that.
Ah, shit happens.
Less than the amazing Malachrypts.
I doubt anyone will be angry in 10 minutes after hearing this. Or remember it. I know I will. But again, I rarely do things that happen more than 10 minutes. More than 10 actually.
Step.
Sometimes. battle clips killed the old one.
It's so useful.
He does that sometimes. Not often, but sometimes.
Sometimes indeed. Like that one.
Like that.
Nice. The clash of steel rings out, echoing through the peaks. The mountains answer with a low, ominous rumble as a wall of white rushes towards the melee, sweeping away everything in its path.
Thank God we have the dice blessing, man.
Dice are a constant reminder of death. The
No.
singular is die, as I'm sure you know, and they are often called bones for the material from which they were crafted. Here,
Excellent.
however, they may also bring a touch of life.
You seek shelter against the bluff, pressing close to the rock face as the avalanche roars overhead. When the trembling stops, you are miraculously unscathed. Your assailant's weapon juts from the snow. As you near, you realize it is still clenched in his hand, his body buried to the wrist by the avalanche. Retrieve the weapon. It is a warrior's axe.
Nice.
No thanks.
Do you think gnomes lost it?
You pry the weapon from the frozen hand and continue up the mountain before the raider has a chance to free himself. Bam.
Will you push on despite nature itself?
Sudden blizzard,
attempting
shards of
to
glass.
thwart you?
Ascend.
Old witches. I have a fondness for them, but I would not trust them.
Further up the mountain, the blizzard becomes so intense you barely see the tiny cottage engulfed in snow. An old lady beckons you in. I have received word from my sister's hawk and have been expecting you. I may not be as skilled as her, but the blessing potion I've whipped up is my best yet. Do you think it's good enough to take to the High Priestess? She says, blowing the steam off a simmering bowl of thick liquid. Remember how great it worked for you last time? Says Malekith with a sideway glance.
Nice.
What is a wheel gambit?
We haven't encountered one yet, but it's basically you have a bunch of cards, they spin in a circle, it's kind of a roulette wheel thing.
Okay. You take a sip of the aromatic potion and feel a warm, fuzzy feeling flowing through your body. Looks like my recipe is a success. I'm sure the High Priestess will appreciate this one. You thank the old lady and continue up Mount Freyles, paying no heed to the brewing blizzard.
You know what's weird?
Yeah.
The fact that you could feel what effect the brew had.
With the least
On your
of
body.
notice, the very lands beneath your feet can slide away.
Trapper
Life
Steve again.
is filled with
How he killed him last
surprises.
time.
With sword and snow. And magic missile.
Magic missile is awesome.
I cast magic missile in the darkness.
That's what's good.
Absolutely nothing.
Who dares venture? Not less than the amazing Malekith! And assistance!
Good stab.
Freeze you? Maybe it's beard powers. Do you freeze people? Do you have beard powers like that guy? Do you have to have a white beard?
I'm pretty sure you gotta have a white beard to figure these people. Stop throwing balls at me. There.
Stab him in the back.
Okay.
Well done.
It,
This kills the human.
this very kills the human.
Even if he's on steroids like most of us.
One equipment from two. The Valiant Aegis. Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. It's good.
I have little trust in artifacts that breathe, myself.
Why though?
The clash of steel, ominous rumble.
Roll the dice, see if you find tacos. Found tacos.
A win here sets the tone for your challenge.
Seek shelter, retrieve the weapon.
A remnant of the Templars and their religious
I don't
righteousness.
actually want it, but yeah.
You can sell it later, or like give it to goblins, or like trade it for a hack or something. I don't know.
I like hats. There'll be more hats in the next episode.
There will indeed. Goodbye.
Bye.